If they ever tell my story, let them say I walked with giants. Men rise and fall like the winter wheat, but these names will never die. Let them say I lived in the time of Hector, breaker of horses. Let them say I lived in the time of Achilles.
Homer's Iliad is named after its setting, Ilium, where Troy stands. But the poem is not about Troy. Just as Homer's Odyssey is the story of Odysseus, and Virgil's Aeneid the story of Aeneas, the Iliad is the story of its hero, Achilles, son of Peleus. On the surface, the Iliad is the story of the Trojan War. A Trojan prince steals the wife of a Greek king. The greatest armada ever assembled sets sail, and the two mightiest civilizations collide on the plains of Troy. And at the center of that war stands a man unlike any other, a man whose name all men and women know, despite many having never read his story. But the Iliad isn't really about the war. It's about a choice. Every hero in this universe, Greek or Trojan, wants one thing above all else: glory. The Greeks had a word for it: kleos. Kleos. The proof that you are here, that you mattered.
Mother, tonight I decide.
If you stay in Larissa, you will find peace. You'll find a wonderful woman. You'll have sons and daughters, and they will have children. And they will love you. And when you're gone, they will remember you. But when your children are dead, and their children after them, your name will be lost. If you go to Troy, glory will be yours. They will write stories about your victories for thousands of years. The world will remember your name. But if you go to Troy, you will never come home. For your glory walks hand in hand with your doom. And I shall never see you again.
Achilles' two fates: a long life forgotten, or glory and early death. Achilles, like any hero would, chooses glory. He sails for Troy, and for a time, everything goes according to plan.
You know what's there? Waiting, beyond that beach. Immortality! Take it! It's yours!
But then something happens. Something that changes everything. Agamemnon, the king of kings, the commander of the Greeks, takes from Achilles the one thing that was his by right: his war prize, his proof of his glory, Briseis, daughter of Briseis. As Achilles is left alone, no one standing up with him in the face of injustice, Achilles stops fighting. He goes on strike. He walks off the battlefield, goes back to his tent, and refuses to return. And the Greeks, without their greatest warrior, begin to fall. And here is where the Iliad becomes an epic. Here is where it becomes a question that 2,700 years of readers have never stopped arguing about. Is Achilles arrogant, stubborn, petulant? A great warrior who throws a tantrum because a king bruised his ego, willing to let his friends die rather than accept his lot? Or is Achilles the first man of principle in all of Western literature? A hero who looked at his commander and said, "I will not serve a man like that. Not for any loot, not under any threat." Achilles, the greatest warrior alive, a man who chose glory over life, ends up making the most extraordinary reversal in all of ancient literature. Faced with the full consequences of his choice, faced with the death of everyone he cherishes, Achilles does something no hero before him had ever done. He chooses over glory, life. The Iliad is the first story that commences Western tradition. It has survived 3,000 years because it, primarily, is truly breathtaking. Moreover, it asks questions societies have never been able to answer. What does the individual owe society? What is the difference between petulance and principle? And what does it cost, truly cost, to choose life? This course is an invitation to read one of the greatest works ever written, not as a box-checking exercise, but to cash in on our soul-enriching inheritance. An inheritance that has been neglected, an inheritance that is still, in every meaningful sense, important and great. I hope you'll join me.